Your host, Arij.
And Daniel.
Today we have with us four entrepreneurs. Miss Anna Khan, who is a renowned makeup artist and daughter of makeup maestro Alia Chipu with more than 15 years of experience. She's based in Dubai, in the UAE. She's also a mother of two. She strongly believes in engaging the child's brain to some intellectual tasks and inculcating problem-solving skills in the kids.
We also have with us Ms. Arham Tariq, who's a lawyer come entrepreneurial educationalist. Ms. Arham is a practicing corporate lawyer. She works at a notable law firm, JA Legal. She has also been teaching English language and literature for around a decade in her institute called Atelier.
Ms. Shazia Ahmad, who is a technologist by formal education, a leader by profession, and a mentor by passion. She is a dedicated mother of two kids. She is currently CEO of Expert Digital, which is a digital transformation company having operations and existence in five different countries. Apart from that, she is actively engaged in various innovations in her field and also spends time in mentoring women in technology. She believes in giving her best to everything she does.
And also, of course, we have Ms. Dr. Saya Lagari, who is a dentist by profession and is passionate about books and raising her three children. She helped her husband with the inception of Greeno juice bars and continues to be a strong member of the Greeno fraternity.
Thank you all for being with us today. Now, can you all please share with us a bit of your backgrounds? Anna?
Okay. Since you've already told about me that I'm a makeup artist and a working mom, so I'm someone who needs technology to with my work, with managing my house, and keeping up pace, with my kids. So that's a little about me.
Miss Sarah, can you elaborate about yourself as well, please?
Hi. So I am a dentist. Yes, I'm not currently practicing, though I took a maternity leave and that somehow just stretched to be a bit longer. But I'm extremely passionate about education. So when I say that, it means I'm always, going to read alouds to my children's school. I also volunteered for Kiran Foundation School, and I did their read aloud program for them for a couple of weeks there. And currently, I'm also mentoring, and I'm a team manager for Destination Imagination as a team. I'm overlooking with this, and it's international on an international platform, really. And they're dealing with, they have a task, and it involves technology per se. So I'm running that group for them, and yes, so in every avenue, really, in my life currently, I'm engaging with the computer, the technology itself, really. So that's where I come in. Just a woman, a homemaker with kids, and a business really that requires, you know, more than in person, technology, really.
Ms. Shazia,
Yes,
could
hi.
you
Hello,
please?
everyone. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. I feel truly privileged to be part of this discussion today. My name is Shazia Hamad, as Reach introduced me. I'm a proud mother of two beautiful kids and a devoted wife of a very supportive husband. I hold a degree in computer science from University of Houston, Clear Lake. I started my career as a BI consultant and continued pursuing my career in IT for around 7 years before I took a career break to give full time to my kids. I resumed my job when I got an opportunity to excel my skills into a management and leadership role, which I believe suits best to my interest, passion, and personality. I'm currently running operations of a multinational digital transformation company, Expert Digital, as a CEO. Within my role in the company, I carry a vision to make Expert Digital as the best digital transformation company in the world. On a personal level, I am a happy soul and strongly believe in giving my best to whatever I do. the quotation that I live my life by is, make your life a masterpiece. After all, you only get one canvas. So yeah, that's a bit about myself.
Beautiful. Yes, Ms. Arham.
Firstly, thank you so much for having me here. I again feel very honored to have this opportunity. I feel like this is such an international and wonderful platform for students. Students, especially of the primary and secondary level, they're very close to my heart. Although I am not, to be very honest, very as techie as perhaps all of you, or as I think or I wish I could have been. I feel like education is of many, many different folds. And, I teach at my institution in Karachi. It's called the Atelier, English language, math, and critical thinking skills, which, I think are very core competencies for students. Seeing this kind of a platform, this kind of a competition, I 100% feel like technology, STEM learning, STEAM learning is also so very important. But at the same time, I feel like it doesn't really matter what you are teaching, as long as, it is what the world needs, what the child needs, what you feel passionate about. So I'm really happy to be with this panel of very passionate, not just, hopefully I'll see the competitors, but people, entrepreneurs, and I'm very, honored to be part of this competition. So that's pretty much it for me. I am by profession a lawyer who is also a teacher. So I've taught law also, and I've also, pursued my love for reading, writing, teaching English language, literature on this side. So that's kind of it about me. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is ours. Next question is directed to Ms. Anna and Ms. Arham. How has being an entrepreneur affected you, Ms. Anna?
Being an entrepreneur, it has its own challenges. Few challenges would be like, time management, like managing between your house and your, kids, and setting up your priorities, like when you need to start and when you need to just stop, and being innovative with time, because if you don't innovate yourself, you're just going to be Kodak and Yahoo then. So you have to keep keeping up with the pace, and just like in my business, like something, before it used to be like giving your visiting cards, giving your flyers, and those kind of things, but now it's all about Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat and TikTok. So how things have changed, like before, for a bridal appointment, I used to have a one-on-one meeting with the client, but now it's having a Zoom meeting. And so, just talking to my clients on WhatsApp, and you just see them on that main day. So with technology, things have really changed. So that's what I wanted to say.
All right. I think this question is quite an important question. And over the course of my time, because I have, had a dynamic career path, given that I've been fluctuating with law and keeping up with English, teaching, all of that. So I've had to revisit this question quite a few times. I think after, being in a very stringent law firm where I was there from 9 a.m. to around 7 p.m. at night, sometimes later also. And then at the same time, I've worked at schools where I was there from 7:30 to approximately 3 o'clock. I feel like the biggest, asset and plus point that I have gotten by now being independent or freelancing or, just being an entrepreneur is, although I don't feel like that is what I am, I'm just someone who likes to do what I like to do. But, I feel like now I have so much autonomy over my time. I have so much autonomy over my life, over everything that I choose. I'm very selective. I'm very picky. I do things that I enjoy. I have a lot of colleagues, a lot of people who, you know, complain sometimes that they don't have time for this, don't have time for leisure, don't have time for X or Y. And like, I never can say that, because I feel very privileged to be part of, you know, the people who have so much of luxury to dictate their own lifestyle and their life. I really like what Anna said about innovation, though. This is something that I myself have experienced and faced. Being an entrepreneur or running a business, you know, you have to, of course, make a profit at the end of the day to keep it running. So in that sense, yes, given that now we've had a global pandemic and things have changed so much, like I did struggle, or I have often struggled to kind of, you know, get attuned with this technological side and keep up with the times per se, and, you know, struggle to understand what algorithm is required to make the business stick. But at the same time, I feel like as long as you're passionate, as long as you're remaining authentic, sometimes these other ancillary things like, you know, being so on top of your game when it comes to technology and all that, which is amazing. I like, you know, you can always hire someone to do that. But what's very important as an entrepreneur is that I can express myself and be my true self, you know, and be very authentic with the message that I want to convey and what I want to do. So that's kind of my experience so far of being an entrepreneur. So yes.
Right, of course, that's very true. Ms. Shazia, I have a question for you in particular, actually. What motivates you and what might your ideals be?
Well, that's a very good question. Um, Coaching, mentoring, and empowering people is what motivates me the most. I believe everybody is special in their own way. It's just the boundaries that they set within their minds, which limits them to what they can or cannot do. So, helping and empowering people so that they can achieve the extraordinary and drive the show with the can-do attitude and confidence in themselves. Well, about my ideals, it's a long list and things keep getting added. But if I summarize, my ideal is to keep challenging myself just to make sure that I am out of my comfort zone at any point of time. Secondly, I should always have enough on my plate to make sure that I'm running and not walking. And with all this, at the end of the day, I should feel contented with whatever I do, which eventually proves that I'm going towards the right direction. So that answered the questions.
That's very philosophical.
Okay. Miss Saira and Miss Anna, do you think education will take a backseat in an age of internet and technology? Miss Saira?
You know, I was actually thinking about this the other day, really, and if anything, it's actually going to take a step forward, because every book you can place is now on the web. You know, there's videos of uh, how, you know, the rulers and emperors have conquered the you know, world in the past, and history is made interesting, really. You know, I've seen children sort of get up on these apps, and especially even YouTube, watching videos on history, and I was flabbergasted, really, that how that's come about. Literature, every material's literally on the web. You know, you can choose the kind of math curriculum you want to use, really. So basically, if anything, you know, technology has made it easier for education to be imparted to everybody, and it's also made education extremely of high quality. You know, and Arham would, I feel, agree. You know, earlier 10 children might have sort of reached out to Arham. And now, if she's honestly on a platform, in a global platform through the net, really, she can reach out internationally as well, right? So essentially what I'm coming down to is that, if anything, I think education would be more sought out in the future as well. Everybody would, I feel, be more learned. Anybody who has a computer would be self-taught as well. You wouldn't even need a teacher for that, really. So basically, it's taking everything. You know, you can self-tutor yourself. You can have every material on the net, if parents are guiding you, if there's a mentor around you, if there's a teacher around you to guide you. Children can honestly be headed towards a path of extraordinary growth, something that was not seen earlier, something that I don't even think was possible earlier. Someone from Karachi would be attending classes in England or America at a time zone through the computer and learning things and learning skills that they ordinarily wouldn't have earlier. So my stance is that technology would push education forward and we'll have a more learned global community in the future, I feel.
I would really agree, what Sarah has said, that technology, with technology, in fact, it just goes hand in hand. If you notice, we've faced like one of the biggest pandemics, and with technology, what has happened, the schools who are technology advanced, their kids, they really didn't, face problems, but the schools, who were lacking behind, technology wise, they were really suffering because they were just not, ready for all of this. And this, like the schools who were already doing well, they, their students, they really flourished, and there was no gap between their studies. All the classes were live, and that's what I faced with two of my kids. Like, so for the whole year, they didn't go to school, but they haven't missed a single class. Everything has been online, live. So it was really nice. And like, back in our times, I remember, taking heavy bags to school with, really thick books and stuff. Now kids don't, they just take an iPad and everything is there. As a parent, I would just say, like, if any point of time I want to see what my kids are doing, I just open their iPad and I see their progress, what they've done in that day, what they've done in that class. So like, I remember we used to, memorize everything. Now, the kids are just asked to research and, and work around with that. We used to, I remember, going to library and looking for a particular book, but, the librarian used to tell us, oh, someone has borrowed it. So we just have to wait. But now, everything is available online. You don't have to wait. You can just, it's just on your fingertips, just clicking away. So I really think that with anything, agreeing to Sarah's point, that technology would really help education going ahead.
That is very true. And I, as a newer generation kid, I can very much relate to that. Now, Ms. Shazia, do you think that kids could benefit from, learning extra skills like coding in early years as compared to learning it later on in their life?
See, coding is the new literacy of digital age. And if you talk about future, not knowing how to code would be only comparable to not knowing how to read. So kids are fast learners, and having them learn coding at an early age will only enhance their creativity, help them think out of the box, and hence prepare them for the future. So yes, why not?
Okay, very true. The next question is directed to all of you, actually. Okay, so the idea behind the Techno Show is to promote the importance in young generation. What would you like to say about our virtual event being held on the 16th of January? Ms. Anna?
I would really say, it is a fantastic initiative by Tahmina and her, all the other organizers. And this is actually really needed in Pakistan. Everywhere else, people are just so technologically advanced. And so I think it is a great initiative.
Dr. Saira?
I think it's such a global platform because I know that more than one countries, in fact, 16 countries are taking part. And I love the fact that it's been initiated from our country. So A, that excites me. And B, it gives me hope that we're not that wayward. And, we have hope, and my country will stand up to technology because I'm a very patriotic person, right? And I say it. And as proud I am, I don't think we were stepping up to it. And knowing that these avenues have been opening up, and people like Tahmina and their team, they're coming up and they're still trying hard really to bring Pakistan on such a platform. It's brilliant because this is the future, and this is the need of time, and we need to keep at par with it. So I'm excited more than anybody probably, and I'm so glad it's even sort of undergoing virtually, and lots of people are sort of taking part in this. Lots of children are taking part in this, and they're able to do so in such a pandemic, in such a horror zone, really. So I'm just impressed, and I'm proud to also be a part of this, really. So kudos to you all.
Ms. Shazia?
Yes, so I believe, like Anna said, this is an excellent initiative. Proud that this initiative is coming from our country. I can see the excitement in young coders, and I'm equally excited to see what will they come up with. One thing I would like to point out here is that though this is a coding competition and winning teams would be announced officially, but for me, they all are winners who took a bold step and are participating in the competition. So well done.
Ms. Arham?
100%. I think this is incredible, amazing. I honestly have not seen something parallel to this, at least being initiated from Pakistan, at least during this pandemic. I also just love the fact, because I'm kind of like a homebody myself, so I love the fact that it is, online, and thus it is through the comfort of your home, through the comfort of just being in your pajamas or whatever, and you can come and you can just show your face, which can look nice, and your brains, which is here, that's all that's required. And all the rest of the logistics is kind of surpassed, and we've transcended beyond that. And I think that is just incredible.
You're very right about that. Now, again, this is a question for all of you, so please, someone take the initiative and answer first. What do you have to say to the children out there who dream big?
Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming, but remember, a dream without any action and execution plan does not lead anywhere. So dream big, but with an action plan in order to make it successful. And then, sky is the limit.
I would agree with Shazia, dream big, sky is the limit, and embrace technology in for the right purpose. And because, there's no limit, but just, knowing where to stop and what, using it for what purpose, basically. And with all of that, like everything is available, with being everything available, protecting your personal space as well, and not putting everything out there, because, again, it just comes under what you should be like, giving out in the world, and just using it in the right way. And if you're just using with anything, if you're using it in the right way, you can achieve your goals.
So what I always talk to my children really about is I want them to be dreamers, and I don't really say that, I act it out. I always talk to them. So I tell them that, these were my goals a couple of years ago, and this is what I was passionate about. And I thought this was impossible, but look, Mama's still striving every day. Or in fact, I even tell them, I do it. So if you want to inculcate a big dream in a child, you first talk to them about your dreams, so something that you've sort of paralleled and you've done, or you're even working at, right? And children see that. I always used to ask, I still do, I'd ask my children to keep a dream diary, because every single day they wake up with something remarkable, something new, something innovative, and something mind-boggling too. So I ask them to pen that down, years later, months later, they might sort of go back to it, and that might excite them, and, they might stick firm with it and, do something about it. And thirdly, I always say that, listen, it's never about, how when every time someone dreams, right, they have an end goal in mind, right? I always tell them it's never about the goal, really. It's about that journey. It's about that small step. It's brilliant if you fall. It's brilliant if you make mistakes. Never be disheartened, never be discouraged. And I always I leave space for conversation again. I tell, and this is the age really to speak to our younger ones, and telling them and making them resilient that failure should not crush you, because because what mostly happens is that you dream big, and at the initial steps you stagger and you stop, you make a U-turn, right? You give up on your dream. So I tell them that's not really about that, and sometimes midway your dreams change as you grow, or as experiences change in your life, right? So hold on to that journey and see where the journey takes you. And if you're happy about it, that means you're there, you've achieved your dream. And if you're not, then keep striving, just keep walking at whatever pace you're comfortable with, and you'll get there. And every successful person, every person that you've seen has made it big. There's been a hard struggle behind it to be ready for that. So yes, so that's the kind of conversations I would have with my children. I'd say this to the younger lot too, who's probably listening to this.
Okay, I really like that answer actually, Saira. It's kind of some of my thoughts and so much more. So I feel like, if there is a child, especially a child who has a dream, I know there are the meaning of it is, we can very loosely interpret, or it may be loosely interpreted, but, if they have, well, we all have dreams and our mind wanders here, and, sometimes we're in a state of reverie and so on and so forth. But a dream, I think the one that we're talking about is something that you want to achieve, something you want to do, something big. So if a child has a dream, I think that child is halfway there, because, just to even kind of formulate such a thing, especially at a young age, to have that innate feeling coming from within you that you want to achieve something, like that's incredible. And there are a lot of there are lots of people that I've seen, who I've heard from when they're small, they don't really, nothing's going on there except for, okay, this toy, that toy, this Beyblades and this and that, I don't know, like games and toys. So if you have that dream and, if you have that idea, I think that's incredible. Like Saira said, if you have that dream, I really hope that someone will encourage you to write it down. There's a very, Roald Dahl, very famously, he wrote down the plot of the BFG when he was in school, and he ended up writing it when he was 60 years old. So that's just something that successful people do. So write that dream down, talk about that dream, talk it out with yourself alone, talk it out with others also. And lastly, like I think Shazia said, without the execution, it's not going to be anything but a dream. But what's important here is that, how do you execute? So one tip that I would give them would be to see someone, because almost always there's someone who's there, who's doing that thing already, who's perhaps doing it better than you. So you can find inspiration all around you, successful people all around you. So see what they're doing, understand their life, and kind of plot it out there, what steps perhaps they took, which you can inculcate right away, and kind of then draft your way forward in that sense and in that direction.
Right, of course.
Very helpful tips, everyone. Okay, so this has been a very interesting and very insightful session with you all. Thank you all so very much for taking your precious time to join us and to give us your valued perspective, which we all can really learn from. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I hope we can have you all here again soon.
Definitely.
Looking forward.
Your pleasure, really. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Allah Hafiz.